There we go. The man, the legend himself, Mr. Percy Abell. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
Man, I'm doing
great,
fantastic. Man. Welcome back to Sunday Mornings with the Tiki Man. So glad to have you back here and getting caught up with you, man. Looks like you were gigging last night, having a good show.
Yeah, so we're and hopefully you can hear me because the internet gremlins and the technology gremlins are at work in this place this morning. So we've had fighting to get back on here. So yeah, we're down on the Outer Banks of North Carolina. We're actually staying over in Manio right now. But I played a show in Kill Devil Hill last night. It was a house concert and with Jamie Trent.
Yeah.
So I don't know maybe with Jamie, but Jamie came in and played 2 or 3 songs with me, and then I played for about 2.5 hours for this group down here and just had a great time.
Yeah, I love Jamie's music. I love that whole Carolina thing that you guys have got going over there. I mean, it's really kind of broken out and become its own thing.
Well, yeah, it's crazy. We both live in the same town. We live in Lynchburg. Mm-hmm. We live miles apart, and we have never met until last night.
Wow.
We talked a little bit on the internet, but we've never met. And so last night, as we were getting to know each other before the show, our stories are very similar. We both started coming to the Outer Banks as kids, grew up coming down here on vacations, fell in love with this just gorgeous sandbar that runs down here.
Yeah.
Still enjoy our time down here. So it's easy to write some songs about.
Yeah, and Jamie, and he's one of those writers that it's kind of like you. I mean, you've got a lot of great songs out there, and Jamie's music is, it pops in every once in a while. He'll send me a song or whatever. I'm like, man, it's always good to hear from you guys and get new music. But it was really cool to see you guys. I didn't know that was the first time you ever met, but
yeah.
He didn't want to get up on stage because you were already up there.
He was going to come up and play 2 or 3 songs before I played, and he's like, God, he's a very modest and talented guy, but he's like, yeah, I'll just let you go ahead and start. I know this is your time.
Yeah.
We're going to have a late lunch with him and his wife later today, and going to start talking about doing some co-writing and get some stuff out there. And I talked to him last night about, doing just like a Percy and Jamie tour. The two of us go out together, do house concerts, and share our music. So hopefully he'll be on board.
That's cool, man. So how's the music scene over there? Everything opening up? Got gigs rolling again?
Yeah, so back in Virginia, we're open, and I am booked almost every either Friday, Saturday, or Saturday, Sunday for the entire summer through August.
Nice.
And out playing, and then the travel is coming back. So we're down here this weekend, and then July 21st, I'll be at Whiskey Joe's in Tampa, which I'm really excited about because that's my first trip there to play for the Tampa Bay Parrot Head Club.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I saw the post about that yesterday. I thought, man, that is really cool. The Tampa Bay Parrot Head Club, I tell you what, I mean, I don't know if you ever played one before, but that is a rocking club.
The only thing I did back in January, they asked me to do an online show for them, a virtual show.
Yeah.
Live, and so I sat up in my little studio at home and did a show for them there, and I'm assuming they liked it because they asked me to come down there to do it in person, so I'm looking forward to it.
Well, last year we had to do what we had to do, right? A lot of people were doing online videos and concerts. Tim Campbell, it took it to a whole nother level and did the whole, green screen and all that stuff, going on. And it was funny. We'll look back on this. I mean, most of us kind of just want to forget it, but we learned things, and we had to get out of our comfort zone and do things differently. And you'd see when it first started, the phones would be sideways or they'd be upside down or whatever, or you couldn't hear them or whatever. And as we progressed along, everybody got better at it.
I still did that last night, trying to video. There's a local guy down here. He's plays a lot of blues. His name is Mojo Collins.
Oh yeah.
So he played before Jamie and I last night, and I was videoing some of his guitar riffs he was playing, and I had the phone all over.
Well, a lot of people, before I was the Tiki Man, I was the jazz man. My heart is always with blues and jazz. I used to love to go down to New Orleans to a jazz fest, and we went out Friday night and caught a local jazz guy at a little restaurant we like to go to, and I just love all types of music. But man, when you get somebody around somebody like you did with knows how to play the blues and all that, that's a whole nother level of excitement.
Yeah, he definitely could play the guitar, and I made the comment last night to some of the people. I said, when I get up there, we're gonna slow it down because I don't play like that. Skills are not there.
Yeah. Well, hey man, you're going to be part of the fifth Tiki Man Radio Songwriter Showcase down in Key West, November. Man, I really appreciate you being a part of it again this year. We're pretty excited moving over to our new venue there at Dirty Harry's.
Yeah, we were disappointed last year that we couldn't get back down. It was one of those decisions where with travel, I still have a full-time job at the university, and they didn't tell us not to travel. They just said you need to be careful if you're traveling and coming back and teaching classes, because we did some virtual classes, but we were also doing face-to-face. So I was still going on campus a couple days a week, and I just felt for the safety of students and everybody involved, just to make that decision. So we miss being in Key West, and we're looking forward to getting back there in November.
Yeah, we did our show virtually last year because of the very same reason. It was not so much about us as it was all of our friends in Key West. We didn't want to take a chance on going down there and getting everybody sick or whatever and then leaving. Well, bye, y'all, good luck with all that. We didn't want to do all that. So we did it virtually and had a really good time, but learned a lot out of all that as well. So you've got some new music out there. So what's all going on with you other than the gigs picking back up?
Well, during the COVID time, I spent a lot of time writing songs, and I've written quite a bit. So I'm so far ahead in my new songs that I don't know which ones are going to come next. But I've written a lot of songs in the last year. I learned more I got some stuff for a home studio, and I've been learning how to do better demos for my my studio people, so they have a better idea of what I'm looking for. So I've created a nice little mini studio in the basement where I can actually do some pretty cool stuff. I've learned a lot in that area, but now it's just getting out and hopefully showcasing my original songs. That's the ultimate goal, is to go out and play this coastal Americana music and get people excited about being out and going to beaches and bars and all the other places out there. And I was actually, this morning we were sitting out on the sound over here, and I was sitting in the chair in the water, and my wife, what are you doing right now? So I'm writing a song. Writing a song,
baby. That's what I'm doing.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and the songs itself, I mean, not only are you a talented singer and songwriter, but songwriting is a whole nother skill set. And we've I know some songwriters that write the music before they write the words. How do you do it? Do you do the words first and then come up with the music?
I do it both ways. Early on in my songwriting, I was more music than lyrics. Mm-hmm. But I think as I've grown and I've co-written with other writers, Rick Hofel out of Texas is one of my favorite people to co-write with. Yeah. Sandbar Pirates, we co-wrote together. Moon Over Manio, we co-wrote together. We're working on another one now called SPF, Sam Party and Friends. Nice. That's going to be coming out. And he is lyrics versus music. And so I've learned how to transition that. So I can do it both ways. I like to have a hook. I like to have an idea.
Right.
Don't just start off with, I was sitting on a deck watching this. I have to know where I'm going with the song for the hook. Then I can move forward.
Well, a good song that's written really well is a really short story. And all of a sudden, people hear, and it happens with a song that you've heard your whole life or whatever, and when you hear that first, part of that song, it takes you back to a place. Music is just that most powerful thing.
We last night, as the great thing about singer-songwriter events like house concerts, you get to talk about your songs. You get to tell people this is where it came from. And so Raise the Colors was one I think it put out about a year or so ago. And the first line of we loaded up that old wood panel wagon, and that's what my parents had when I was a kid, that wood panel station wagon.
Yeah.
And we just loaded in there, and then to me it's like pirates going on a ship. And so that's how that whole line came about. But it takes me back to those days where we got in that station wagon and headed to the beach.
Yeah, and you're right about that. And and we have to constantly explain that to people here. There's a world of difference between a house party and a house concert. You know, we've got Greg Dillard here for the summer party. That's a house party, and he understands that. So does everybody else. But a house concert is just that way. You come to sit down, listen to the artist, and hear those stories behind the music.
Yeah, it's an opportunity for us as artists to really talk about our songs, share our original music. And I still do events back home where I play up at Smith Mountain Lake, where I get to play my songs, but I'm also entertaining. So I'm playing Buffett and Chesney and Zach Brown and Jesse Wright, mixing a lot of these other cover songs. But the house concerts are awesome because you get to share your heart and your soul of music with the people that are listening, and they're just sitting there and they're listening to it, and it's a pretty cool event.
Yeah. I put together a video not too long ago about the Sandbox down in Anna Maria Island, and it's out there on YouTube, but it was kind of that's the lifeblood of the trop rock community is those house concerts. That's where a lot of people can get out there and get their name out there and tell those stories, and people fall in love with those stories of the songs.
It is, and it's great for us independent artists that we get to have those places to go and share. It reminds me of growing up where you would go to your local county fair or state fair. And I remember years ago when Garth Brooks, and no one knew who he was, my brother came back from the Halifax County State Fair and said, I saw this guy named Garth Brooks, man, he was really good. I'm like, hey, sure, and now there's Garth.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the thing, you're playing these events that are small, but they're intimate and they're really cool.
Yeah, that boy Garth, he's pretty good. All right, man. Well, listen, I want to play this new song, and thank you so much for sending it over here to me. It's called Mother of the Ocean, or Motion of the Ocean, right?
Yeah, Ocean of the Ocean.
There we go. All right, well, we're going to play this right quick, and then we're going to come back to you, all right?
Sounds great.
All right, here we go. If you're just joining us, Percy Abell. This is brand new, hot off the presses, baby.
I love the motion of the ocean, and you're loving me. I love the motion of the ocean, baby, can't you see? I know time with you is time well spent, sailing on the sea. I love the motion of the ocean when you're loving me. Let's head down to the dock and cast off the line. There's a tropical destination been on our mind. It's a quiet little harbor down in the Keys. We can set our anchor instead. Oh, we just you and me. I love the motion of the ocean when you're loving me. I love the motion of the ocean, baby, can't you see? I know time with you is time well spent, sailing on the sea. I love the motion of the ocean when you're loving me. We can hang out on the boat and watch the sun go down. We can dinghy and bike ride around on Key West town. Started sloppy Joe to the Duval Cross, then we're heading back to the boat. If we can stay afloat, are you ready to go? I love the motion of the ocean, you're loving me. I love the motion of the ocean, baby, can't you see? I know time with you is time well spent, sailing on the sea. I love the motion of the ocean when you're loving me. We can catch a ride on the Gulf Stream end up in some no-name key, living wild and free. I love the motion of the ocean, you're loving me. I love the motion of the ocean, baby, can't you see? I know time with you is time well spent, sailing on the sea. I love the motion of the ocean when you're loving me. I love the motion of the ocean when you're loving me. Loving me.
Very nice put together, man.
Thank you. The studio, early at Faint and Go Studio, they're awesome. They do a great job with my music. We sat down and, I send him the demo of how I want things to sound. And he goes, well, how about this? And he started adding kind of that little reggae-ish feel in that guitar. I'm like, oh man, that's awesome. Let's go with it. So I was really happy the way it turned out. Yeah,
it sounds really good, man. And I just sent Kenny Chesney a message, told me you need to buy this one, okay?
Please.
Yeah, all we need is one song, man. One song.
One song. We talked about that. Just one song.
Yeah, we talked yesterday, and I was telling you about the Randy Owens got that "Feels So Right" hanging over the gate there because it built the whole damn house. That's all we need. One song.
This little condo I'm in right now, I'll just buy it, put Motion of the Ocean across the top of it, and we're good to go.
There you go, man. There you go. Well, what else you got coming up pretty soon? You got any gigs you want to announce right quick?
Well, we'll be back in Virginia this week, and I'm playing over the next month. I'm playing every weekend at Portside Grill at Smith Mountain Lake, Mitchell's restaurant at Smith Mountain Lake, and then we have a great brewery in Lynchburg in Forest called Apocalypse. Mm-hmm. Their stuff is outstanding. If you're a beer drinker, their stuff is great. Their owner, Doug, is a huge fan of my music, so I get to go out there and play, and I love doing that. So those are the next month. Those are the big events until I head down to Tampa, and that's going to be a great one down there. And then I'm back on the Outer Banks at the end of the month.
Well, there you go, man. Well, tell everybody where they can find your music and where they can follow you and keep up with you.
Yeah, so if you go on Facebook, go to Percy Abell Music on Facebook, and you can follow everything there and all my dates that are coming up. And then if you go to iTunes, Amazon Music, Spotify, Pandora, CD Baby, iHeartRadio, all those places have my songs that are out there. I think when we do Motion of the Ocean gets out, we will have 12 singles that we release. We're releasing all singles because I know as radio people like not getting bombarded with tons of songs. And I feel like just doing singles is easier. We can get them out and get them heard. Mm-hmm. And then hopefully we're planning by maybe the end of the summer to do the first album collection and put them all together for a CD that'll have at shows.
Yeah, I mean, the music business has changed a lot over the last 5 years, and singles seems to be the way to go. Because everybody wants to, you get EPs really seems to be the way to go. Yep. 4 or 5 songs on one EP that seem to get a lot more airplay than, say, 12 or 13 songs might get lost in the mix there.
Well, I took your advice early on. The very first time we did an interview 2-3 years ago, you talked about that, and our studio people said the same thing, and I've taken their advice, and we're sticking with that. It seems to be working for us, and the songs are getting out and getting played. So
there you go.
Good thing to do.
Well, good. Glad I was able to help. Well, buddy, we're going to let you fly, man. It's always a pleasure having you. You're always welcome on Sunday mornings with the Tiki Man, and we got to get you over here to Harrison Bay sometime or another and play some gigs over here on the Tiki Bar stage.
You let me know, and we'll work it out. As we're open back up, we're ready to travel. With my wife, I just talked this morning, man. We're so excited to be traveling again and back at the beach and going places. So
yeah,
you dates, and we'll work it out.
All right, brother. Well, if I don't see you before then, I'll see you down in Key West, man.
Sounds great. Thank you all very much for having me on.
All right, Percy Abell, everybody. Make sure you check out his music. Follow him. He is the man with the plan. All right, buddy. We'll see you down in Key West, okay?
All right. Have a good one.
See you, brother.